everyone, and welcome to Live, Laugh, Learn TV. I'm Dr. Carol Morgan.
And I'm Jeff Lauterbach. Thanks for joining us again. And as usual, we have a guest co-host, and we have in store a real fascinating show today. It's going to touch a variety of topics within music. Obviously, music impacts and affects all of us. Everyone goes back to their first concert or songs that are instrumental early in their lives or throughout all their lives. And today we have Mr. David Webb, who is the President CEO of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center here in good old Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be fun.
Yep, it is. It is.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background about the museum and how you got into the funk music and everything?
Yes, well, it started back as I'm a young man back in the day. I always was interested in learning how to play music as a kid coming up. I started in school playing like a kazoo. Well, it's like a little kazoo you blow. And then I went from there to like a wood phone, like a little saxophone instrument. And then from there I learned how to play the drums, keyboard, and go from there. Everybody's laughed because I always playing E flat. So, I play by ear. But starting the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center has been a 10-year process. Wow. A lot of research to get this together. I have a team of 45 people who volunteer with me with the organization across the country and around the world. So we had a message that we wanted to get out because a lot of funk music in Dayton was not being recognized. So what we did was we went out and spoke with a lot of funk artists who wanted to support us. From there, we did our research, we did our feasibility reports, we went around the world getting things together, and then a lot of people started donating funk memorabilia to the organization. And from there, we got a call from Jane Close and Tim Kabovich at the Dayton Metro Library. And they heard about our 501c3 organization, nonprofit, and they wanted to assist. From there, we moved into the Northwest Dayton Metro Library on April 22nd of last year. And from there, it just took off, skyrocketed. We had people from around the world coming to the library, and it put the library on the map. A lot of professors, a lot of curators came and wanted to help and assist on this process. And then from there, after the 6-month stay we have a brick and mortar building right downtown Dayton at 113 East 3rd Street. And our grand opening will be probably at the end of March or the middle of April. We have to work out some details, city and getting things up to code so we can open. But this is a great, great venture for the Funk Music Hall of Fame Exhibition and the Dayton area. And I always tell people it's just not just the Dayton groups, it's the national and the world, because funk music it's for the mind, the body, and soul. And when you hear funk music, you want to jump up and dance. Back in the days in the 70s and 80s when music was music and everybody played their instruments.
So how do you distinguish funk music, like in terms of definition, between, say, like R&B or so, like what makes it different than other genres?
And that's a great question. Now, James Brown always says, "Let's keep it on the one." If it's James Brown, like, let's keep it on the one. Hey, Bobby, let's keep it on the one, like that. Now, it's on the beat. It's the syncopation of the beat on the one. So some people like R&B is kind of same, depending on how the bass and the drums connect. And then you have some is on a 2 and a 4. Like some groups do like that, but funk music is always on that one beat, that crack, 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 crack. Like that.
Oh, he's starting to dance.
Yeah. So it's defined, and it's like between the bass and the drum, kick and snare. That you want to feel that bass. It makes your heart beat. Like when we used to go to concerts back in the day, you feel it. You feel it.
A dance
funk music comes from your body and soul, and you want to move and you want to groove with it.
Oh.
So who are some of the more prominent funk music artists for people who aren't overly familiar with the genre?
Okay, well, we always want to talk about James Brown. James Brown was the king of funk. You got from James Brown to the West Coast as Sly and the Family Stone. Remember? Sly and the Family Stones were real big back then. And Isaac Hayes and George Clinton George Clinton took funk and moved it to a whole nother direction.
And that's what we were talking about before the show, how my favorite is Parliament and
Yes, Parliament Funkadelic.
Give Up the Funk. And
Yes, we want the funk. We got to have that funk, yes.
yeah, especially the beginning of that song. That's one of my
To the
favorites.
roof off the mother, to the roof off the yes.
That's on my playlist. I have a certain playlist when I work out, and it involves a wide range of music, everything
Yes.
from soft rock to
Yes,
hard
yes.
rock to
Funk?
old
Is there
school
funk
rap.
on
Yes,
it?
yes.
Okay.
Like Bust a Move, that's one of my favorite songs. But I guess that a lot of that music, the modern music, has evolved from funk music.
Yes, yes. Let's go back to a little bit too, because when disco came in the 60s and 70s, funk music was big. You have, Ohio Players. You had like the Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, Cameo, and so many other groups had that sound, that funk sound. I'll call it, they bit off the Ohio Players because, Sugarfoot, that wow, all that, everybody's doing wow, chow,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So Dayton was a forefront in funk music.
Really?
Yes.
Dayton, Ohio?
Dayton, Ohio is the funk capital of the world.
Well, Ohio
Really?
Players are
Yes.
all from Dayton, aren't
Yes, the Ohio
Really?
Players are from Dayton, yeah, and so many groups out of Dayton too. But the thing is, these guys took that music and changed it. As James Brown planted the seed of funk music in Dayton, Ohio, and like that culture, because remember the Great Migration from the South came to Dayton, Ohio, and the industry. And people brought their styles from the South, and it came into the melting pot in Dayton, Ohio. And that's how a lot of the music is changed. Everybody, not just funk music now. You got bluegrass, you got you got gospel, and all that stuff came into Dayton, Ohio. And people pick up different genres of music as they listen to it. And because you might like pop, you might like disco, somebody likes bluegrass, somebody likes country. So this is a melting pot for music, Dayton, Ohio. And that's why they call it the funk capital of the world, because you have white funk, like Average White Band. You remember the group Average White Band?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
In the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s Average White Band.
That's a great
Yes,
name.
yeah, Average
Okay,
White
yeah.
Band. They were out of Scotland, and they played
Oh.
funk music, and they were influenced by James Brown. We call it Blue Eye Soul. You heard that before?
No.
Blue Eye Soul, Hall and
Apparently,
Oates.
I don't know much about music. I'm feeling really dumb right now.
Hall and Oates, Blue Eye Soul.
Really?
Hall and,
I know Hall and Oates.
and it's like Devo. Devo, Whip It Good.
Yeah.
That's funk.
Oh,
That's,
really?
That's rock
I didn't know
funk.
that.
Yeah, it's a lot of groups.
Rock
a lot of
funk.
groups.
Is that
Mhm.
different than
Well,
regular funk?
it's funk, but they have their own to it.
Okay.
And just like perfect example, the Rolling Stones was influenced by James Brown.
Really? Wow. I had no
And
idea.
think about this. You notice how Mick Jagger used to do that walk and dance he was doing,
Yeah.
like he was having like an epileptic fit or something. But he was
Good way to put it.
imitating. He was imitating James Brown and how he was doing his
Oh.
moves and stuff like that.
Who knew?
Well, the thing about obviously Live, Laugh, Learn, we are focused on inspiration, motivational
Yes,
stories,
yes,
positive thinking,
Yes.
effective communication, healthy relationships. Really, music is something that ties. It's one of the few things that ties into all those subjects as
Yeah.
far as
Yes,
it affects our. Is part of our past and is part of our relationships. We were talking about, and I guess we could delve into that topic. How
Oh, boy.
how
Here we go.
how musical taste. That's all part when you're in a relationship or you're getting to know someone.
Yeah.
That's one of the first, like the first date. That's one of the first questions you ask her talking early. Or like, well, what type of music are you into?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what if you are into different music though? Has that ever happened to either one of you? Like, you obviously love funk, but have you ever dated somebody who's like, I hate funk?
Well, no. Listen, I just don't listen to funk music. I listen to all music.
Okay.
I like Bonnie Raitt. I listen to all that stuff. I listen to a lot of music that it catches my ear because I'm a musician too. But music is universal. It brings
Yeah.
everybody together.
It does.
Because you understand, if you listen to music now, some music you listen now, you be like, yeah. But the old time music where you had to play your instruments, it made a big difference. And I always wanted to be a musician because I liked to impress people of my talents. And people say, yeah. But if you think about it, playing an instrument and showing your talents, that was educational skill. That worked the mind, body, and soul, and that made you better in math, better understanding of music, and it stimulated your mind. Because when I grew up, I didn't want to go to school.
I don't think anybody does.
No,
do they?
I didn't want to go to school, but I had a tough time. I had a little learning disability, nothing bad, but I was focusing more on music. So when I went to school, people was like, yeah. But when I heard music, I locked stuff in with music, and that's how I got through school to college and everything. But one thing, remember ABC Multiplication Rock, the function junction.
Grammar Rock.
Yeah, grammar. I learned the preamble by listening to music. We the people in order form a more perfect union. I learned that from that. Music stimulated my mind, and that's when I developed more and more because of music.
That's fascinating. I mean, I know for me, and it's probably true for a lot of people, that like even if you're in a bad mood, if you put on like a great song, you're like, okay, life isn't so bad now, you know, or it brings back memories, good or bad, you know.
Yes.
And it is amazing, like you said, it's universal, and we can all just relate to it. And it brings even generations together. You know, like tell them your test for dating people, your REO Speedwagon test, right?
Oh yeah, well, I had a friend in Orlando. I lived in Florida for 13 years.
Sure.
And I have a friend who he's the same age. He's 40. He would be 48. But this was like 8-10 years ago. So we were in our late 30s.
Gotcha.
He's a guy who always likes dating younger women, and I've always been someone who likes to stay within my age range.
You're bound.
So I told him if the woman is too young to not know who REO Speedwagon is,
or can't sing
or
one of the songs,
can't name a song, because REO Speedwagon, I have a wide range of music as well, but they're one of my favorite bands.
Big 80s band, big hair, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they still they still put on a pretty good show. I've seen them in concert.
Me too.
But one of my I'm obviously being a creative person. I'm good at writing. I'm good at talking. Good at PR. But when it comes to music, I've always loved trying new things. And when I was probably in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And this was really one of the few. The beginning and the end of my music career,
Right?
Because I was playing baseball and basketball like I always have. I still do, but I wanted to try music, so I decided to join the band. And my parents rented a trumpet, so I took trumpet lessons. And within a few weeks, the band director
said you weren't worthy of being in the band.
Well, exactly.
Really?
Looking back on it, could have been detrimental to a 5th grader. He pulled me aside and said, he was serious too. He was like, I really think you should stick to basketball. I really don't think music is your forte.
Well, how did it make you feel?
Are you my psychiatrist
Yes.
now?
How do you feel about that?
It made me feel.
About you.
It made me feel like I had no future in music. But then we fast forward to I think it was 8th grade, and this is a funny story because I, as you know, you've danced with me, and you know I can't. I'm an awful dancer. But I love to dance. I love to dance, and I don't really.
You really put your all into
I don't
it,
have. I don't have inhibitions, so I'll get out and dance. So yeah, I was in 8th grade, and there was a singing group. I was part of the chorus, which I could be drowned out in the chorus. But there was a singing group for 9th grade you had to try out for. So the part of the tryout was you had a solo, and this was back in, I guess it would have been 1980, that time frame. So I got the bright idea to sing "I Love a Rainy Night" by Eddie Rabbit.
Can you sing some right now?
And I even did the I can't even snap right.
Snapping.
Yeah, at the beginning, he snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a real dorky kid when I was. Well, I might still be dorky, but I'm no longer quiet and shy. Back then, I had big glasses. I had big fluffy hair.
Oh, you have to bring pictures sometime.
And but I thought this would make me cool, so I I tried out, and I just remember all the class laughing. It was a big disaster.
Oh, they were laughing at you.
I didn't make my didn't make the singing group.
Oh man, that's bad.
That was the end of my music career.
But you know something you said. I'm gonna go back to something you said in the 5th grade. I had the same similar situation in the 5th grade. I wanted to play the drums, and my teacher felt that the drums would be too difficult for me to learn.
Really? It doesn't seem too difficult. Just
And so they like I said, they gave me that little plastic instrument to play. They thought it would be good. So
the kazoo?
Yeah, pretty much. So I ran home to tell my mother and father the news, and my mother was a little disappointed because she felt that my dreams were to play the drums. So, you know, it was devastating. Things happen in the 5th, 4th, and grade. Things devastate children at certain times.
That is true.
And that's why I always tell parents to make sure you stick with your children on playing instruments, because that's right there. That's their learning and experience right there. And when they say what they can't do, it's kind of devastating, you know.
And never discourage any, because like I was in choir and swing choir and musicals in high school too, and I loved singing. I mean, I have a decent voice, but you know, I'd get laughed off American Idol. But you know, I mean, I wouldn't get laughed at karaoke. Let's put it that way. I mean, like, probably my dream job would have been to be a singer, but I never did my parents ever. I mean, it's go to college and get a real job. You know, it was never. Oh, you love music? Hey, go pursue your dream. It never even occurred to me, and so it's kind of sad how, you know, along the way, whether it's music or other things, that parents and teachers really do kind of discourage us, because I think they think music is just something that is for entertainment and for fun, and it's not something that people actually make a living from.
And also too, you know, back when I was in school, we had to learn how to sing and choir and music. Now, music is not in public schools no more like it used to be.
No.
And they took the arts away. And we need, as a community, to stand behind. That's why my organization, the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center, this is what we're doing now. We're reaching out to these schools coming up in these coming years. We want to make sure these kids get some instruments in their hands to motivate them.
Great.
You know, as a nonprofit, we are trying our best to reach people. And that's why I tell people to go to our Facebook page, go to our website at www.thefunkcenter.org, find out what we're doing. Be a part of what we're doing.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we only have a few more minutes left. So, Jeff,
The,
final thoughts?
Well, I think we all have, and maybe we don't have time to fully explore this, but we all have first concerts or favorite concerts. And mine, I just remember I went to college in the late 80s, early 90s at Wright State, and my favorite concert to this day is the final. I was graced to see the final concert of the Cars at Riverfront Coliseum.
I didn't know they gave a final concert.
Yeah, well, we didn't know it was their final concert. They just It just stopped. It was a concert, and then maybe a couple weeks later, Rick Ocasek went out on his own. And but obviously, they're a quintessential '80s band, the Cars. Right. So I don't know if either of you have
in Cars.
Well, that's Gary Newman.
That's Gary Newman.
He sang the one-hit wonder, the Cars. That's a song from the '80s. But the group, the Cars, was Rick Ocasek. They sang like "My Best Friend's Girl" and.
Oh, okay.
My best friend's girl.
Okay, that's enough.
I don't have a voice. Now you know I was cut from the music group.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least you can laugh about it.
Oh, by the way,
yes,
Mr. Webb, you might want to join us when we get a group outing at karaoke, because my go-to song. And I've been planning this for a couple weeks. Is "Word Up" by Cameo.
What is it?
Wow, that is
Worn Out.
You know,
Word Up.
Worn Out. Like what?
You know what
are you talking about?
Once you sing that, I'm gonna call my good friend who sings that. Now,
he knows the guy who sings that.
I know one of the guys that sing that for Cameo.
Great.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him on the phone and let him hear that.
And do it on this show.
That would be funny.
Would be
I will see if he's available.
Do a little music.
I love
video.
that song. And I know, I think, Korn, the hard rock band Korn, did a cover of Word Up, but it's not as good as Cameo. That's a classic. Well, when I was going to college, that was popular, so that's always...
Well, you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, remember how they were a rock funk band, because George Clinton produced them.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Oh. And see, that's what made them crazy. The outfits, because that Parliament stuff. Oh. But you know, a lot of people know a lot of rock bands are playing a lot of cover tunes from funk bands. You know.
Oh. Wow.
Well, and this is something we could explore in a future segment as well.
Definitely.
Sure.
We probably had 20 different topics in this show that we can go off of, even more.
I had a great time coming out.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much for being here, David. I wish we weren't out of time, but we are. So I hope you'll be back again. Well, actually, we're going to do another show with you soon, right?
Yes,
exactly.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody out there, for joining us as well. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you did. I know we did. It's always fun to talk about music, and we hope you'll join us again next time and find David at, what is it, thefunkcenter.org?
www.thefunkcenter.org. It is on your screen. Call us, find out, like us on Facebook, and also like us on YouTube, where our television show is really big, just like this.
Yeah, he has TV shows too, so check him out. And until next time, don't forget to live, laugh, and learn.